Woo, man, shit. It's been a fucking while, man. It's been a fucking while. You're gonna have to excuse me. Welcome to Get Smart with the side branch called Get Enlightenment Quick. Now, it's been a while. I just want to say, I want to apologize. I've been working and shit, you know what I'm saying? Call center. Actually improving my life and bettering myself and shit like that. But I'm gonna be more consistent now, at least one video a week or some type of shit like that. But either way, on today's episode, Get Enlightenment Quick, I want to deal with something very deep to my heart. Something I've been noticing that's happening out here in the world and shit. And it's a very controversial topic. And it's having narcissistic parents. Now, as being a victim of such things and prevailing and succeeding with that type of thing, I've been a little thirsty. God, forgive me. Dealing with that type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to talk about it. But then, something interesting happened, I was going through ShopRite, you know what I'm saying? I was going through ShopRite, and then as I'm going through ShopRite, when that awkward moment with kids, like, when kids start, like, wailing, going into hysterics and shit like that. So the kid is going through that type of shit, going through the hysterics, and it's like, when a child is crying, and you don't understand why the fuck, the child is crying, they're crying, they don't understand what they've done is wrong. You can even see in the body language, they crying, the tears and shit. They don't understand. And now this woman is going like, stop it, you're making me look bad. You should, I'm the only one who loves you, in vernac and shit like that. And I'm like, fuck it. Let's talk about this shit, Even though, yes, it's a controversial issue, but it's real. It's the reason why a lot of kids kill and shit. So I just want to outline a couple of things, just so you know whenever you're in an abusive relationship, before we go into the deep things, Number one, there are 3 things you've always got to know if you ever find yourself in an abusive relationship, even though this is narcissistic parents, but we're going to branch. If you want me to do videos on narcissism as a whole, we can do that as well, but I feel like this was a calling I have to do. We're going to talk. In abuse, there are 3 behaviors you must always look out for. There are others, but this is the most consistent I've noticed. In everything, movies, real life, everything. Number 1, it's controlling behavior. Wanting to know everything about you, where you go, your friends, your phone numbers, just controlling behavior. Wanting to control your direction, your individuality, your thoughts, your beliefs. And if you go against the grain of who they are, they become very, anxious and evil. So always, that's number 1, sign number 1, controlling. Number 2, domineering. Someone who always gotta be right. Someone who always gotta be on top. Someone who always gotta be awesome. Always, always. You should be a fucking tampon, dog. You get fucking boring and frustrating. That type of thing. That type of fucking boring shit. That's number 2. The next thing is possessiveness. Possessiveness isn't cute, y'all. Possessiveness is a trait that you should run away from. Somebody it's almost twin sisters with controlling behavior. You know what I'm saying? Controlling behavior, because possessive people wanna not only control you, but they wanna own you, like you some toy, like you something to them. You know what I'm saying? Like possessive behaviors, like this is mine, only mine. They go crazy. You can always tell possessive behavior because its twin sister or its shadow is always jealousy for no reason, accusations, blaming, shit like false accusations and shit like that. So always remember that. Controlling behavior, domineering behavior, possessive behavior. Hell, even if you go to a dictionary to Google this type of shit, just remember, when people do these types of behavior, you're going to feel a certain sense of conflict with who you are. And you're going to look at yourself like that child I was mentioning. You're going to be like, I don't know why I feel sad, angry, and depressed and guilty and shit when I've done none of that. When you start feeling those emotions for no fucking reason, no, that's a bad relationship. Run. Fucking run. When people illustrate those three traits, fucking run. So now we're going to go into the whole narcissistic parent. it's very, narcissism is a very deep topic, because like there are various strands of narcissism in its whole, even though it classifies as a personality disorder. But the different types, like you get the bipolar type of narcissist, antisocial, malignant, so many fucking types of this fucking shit. But I'm just gonna minimize it for you so it's very easy. Someone who's narcissistic thinks very highly of themselves. They think so highly of themselves that they're awesome, that they're being pimping, they're awesome. But in reality, Fetu, like, they're not awesome. They suck. They haven't grown. They haven't changed. They're still the same financially, emotionally. They haven't grown as a person. So automatically look for those immediate traits. You know, like someone who thinks highly of them, but the reality doesn't. You're like, bro, the combos are not communicating. The real you and the fake you aren't the same. The real you's awful. The fake you's nice. Remember that. The fake you's nice, but the real you's awful. Another thing I want you, these people lack emotional empathy. They lack empathy, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the sense they can't relate with you emotionally. You'll notice that there's that click lacking. You know, when you and people communicate, you know, whether the relationship lasted 5 days or 5 years or 50 years, doesn't matter. There's always that click you feel, that warmness you feel. When you're like, I feel understood here. I feel truly understood. Not that hollowness where you're constantly talking to just generate, to close that gap. But even though you close it, you feel, no, it's not real. They lack empathy, that you cannot connect with them emotionally, with these people. And it leads, you'll always know this behavior because of something called emotional devalidation. Emotional devalidation is something that causes a lot of kids to have depression and anxiety. You hear it all the time. It's like, no, that feeling is evil. Think something else. Man up, chin up, stuff that down, you know, where you don't allow someone to express their emotions. Emotions aren't bad. They only become bad when you allow the anger to make you do temper tantrums. Things like yell. Another behaviors as well you shouldn't tolerate: yelling, belittling. You know, when you feel what you gotta feel, because when you bottle down your emotions, that shit becomes psychosomatic eventually. You find yourself having cancers and shit, even though you're healthy. Body parts stop working. So this is real. Feel what you gotta feel. So that's also another thing. Remember that emotional devalidation where people are telling you, no, you're not sad, you this and that. But you're sitting down, you're like, bro, but I am fucking sad, motherfucker. Like, you can't tell me what I'm feeling is wrong. I'm feeling it, motherfucker. Another thing is exploitation, manipulation, and deception. People playing tricks on you. Constantly playing tricks, gaming you, you know what I'm saying, remember in life, even though is about manipulation, remember all the interactions you must engage in must be win-win. If this person's always the one gaining, taking, just know, I don't want it, bye. Now, let's go into the more narcissistic parenting type of things. Number one, the controlling, overbearing. We kind of gone over through controlling. But overbearing parents, they always, if you don't do this, you can go do this in your own house. They don't accept the natural growth of you as a person and an individual. And we have to deal with this. I feel like it's very important. A lot of us have to deal with this whole narcissism thing because, like, as time, a lot of us, the job game is kind of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You study hard, whatever. And now you're at home, you're sending CVs and shit, you're getting interviews and whatnot. And you see this other side of your parent, this fakeness of your parent that was always there, and you neglected it because they probably bought you ice cream. Remember that? Bribing of gifts as well. They bribe you with gifts, Happy Meals, all this crap. And now you're seeing this dark side, this, like I'm saying, the fake side but now the real. So you've got to understand this. You as a graduate, whatever, you living at home and whatnot, overbearing behavior, you don't want to pass this shit down to your kids. You get what I'm saying? But going back to the overbearing and controlling sense, they're on your nuts all the time. You don't have no freedom of self. You don't have that ability to explore your own concepts. They always, this is my way or the higher. They're just nagging all the time. they're nagging all that. This is why a lot of kids kill their fucking parents. They sick of this person that, no, you can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, what, no, 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 constantly hearing no, 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 but they're not getting told yes. Or either they're not getting told no with a why and given a proper alternative, like, okay, you can't do that, but here's a proper alternative. Or either, yes, you can do that, this is how you do it. You get what I'm saying? They're not given proper guidelines and outlines. It's just, no, absolute. This is an absolute. We cannot debate about it. We cannot explore those emotions. And that's the sad truth about it. Then another thing is no sense of fucking boundaries. I hate this to the point like I'm not even friends with my, friends. I'm not even tight with, you should never be friends with your parents anyways, but not even tight with my own mother and parents because my mother and my father because of this type of shit. No boundaries, no respect of boundaries. You've got to respect people's boundaries, their mental boundaries, their emotional boundaries, their spiritual boundaries. You can't feel some type of way when somebody has different opinions than you. You've got to sit down and try and find similarities without being fake. Because a lot of us have a lot of commonalities, but we can't see that. But going back to the whole no sense of boundaries, you're going to say no, 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 and they're not going to respect. They're going to overstep the boundary. You're going to tell you, I don't respect wara. I told you this 3 times. I don't respect this type of behavior and you're doing it. And they're going to do it again. Then you know when people are overstepping the boundary, when you have to become Adolf Hitler and they start playing the victim now. You know, they start coiling up. They start bringing their goons. Because, you know, toxic people, fake people, narcissists, all that type of shit, they don't have confidence. They always hire people who are similar like them or stupider than them to go and do the hard, hefty lifting work for them. And we don't respect people like that. So overstepping of boundaries, when you outline, this is the specific behavior, this is what I don't like, and they overstep. Also, the sense of boundaries can also be people like taking your clothes without permission, things like that, you know, not respecting you as a person and your rules and how you view life and things like that. Going back to the boundary thing, being on your nuts, constantly heckling you, just being here for no fucking reason, just being too intimately close without you giving them the allowance to be into your life, because that's number one. If you gotta let people in, but first you gotta get the permission, you know what I'm saying? Like, you only get permission when we feel that you are congruent on all levels. The fake you and the real you are similar. There are no vast like juxtapositions or extremities like, yo, you are here and the fake you is here. At least, you know, that type of thing, you know, parallel type of vibes. But when they're on your nut, they're constantly on your case for bullshit. Like, always ask yourself, like, this is what has helped me in my life, is that always sit down and be like, honestly, what have I truly done that was bad? Like, really, sit down and say genuinely, really, like those words that speak truth, you know. What have I truly done that's bad? 80% of the time you're going to realize you haven't done anything that's really bad. Then you gotta sit down and argue, then why am I feeling these emotions then? Then you're like, you sit down and you analyze and you sit down and I think it's the other person. I know it's not socially appropriate to say this, but I think it's the other person. I need to explore this. I need to conduct experiments and shit. You don't need to conduct experiments. I already done this for you. Leave, create boundaries. But we're gonna create more videos on how to manage and work out these types of relationships, what to do. This is going to be a series, but either way, let's go back to the program of today. So another thing to also spot is envy. They have a high sense of envy. They envy you. You'll hear it all the time. Your generation, whatever. The envy, the hate, unnecessary spewing a lot of hate and shit like that. Just envy. They wish to be you because they had it shitty. That's not true. I'm going to be real with you. All the people always say, like, your generation, this, that, the other. I'm going to tell you the truth. All adults had the same opportunity as you. But they chose to be ignorant. They chose to only drink pop bottles, have a lazy life, sit indoors, not explore life. You as a person, you have to explore yourself. Explore the boundaries. Know your limits. Know how to go past them. Know how to work with them. You know what I'm saying? You can't live in somebody else's image for the rest of your life. You're gonna pass this evilness down on your kids to the point your kids are gonna put you in a retirement home where you're getting molested by the person helping you, and that shit does happen. They're not gonna send you to the good retirement old age home. They're gonna send you to the fucked up one where you're getting molested like a child with a pope. We don't want that, because it's a cycle. Shit repeats its fucking self. The next thing we also want to do is they are threatened by independence. Like I was going back, in most relationships, you gotta be able to handle people who have conflicting beliefs as you. It means you're not an adult if somebody says, I don't believe in God. I remember when I said this, I don't believe in God and all that crap. Everyone got touched. Everyone got whatever. You're not being mature, bro. You're being fake. You're being a fake asshole bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's not maturity what you're illustrating. You have to explore yourself, because we're all indoctrinated as kids to think a certain way until we explore and we go out into the world and realize the template of what love is and what love is, the work life is like, relationships and shit like that is like in real life. Realize that we've been indoctrinated with a lot of shit. Because a lot of you have asked your parents probably about love and dating and shit, and they can't give you a straight answer. They give you bullshit like, be yourself. Okay, cool. Can you be more specific? And to answer you on that question, loving yourself means acceptance of the dark. But it's gonna be a video series I'm creating, because I notice a lot of people are struggling in this shit. But it's just independence. They don't allow independence and the ability to grow. Another thing is false compliments. False compliments are very easy to spot, because whenever somebody compliments you, like I always say, you gotta sit down and analyze what is it specifically are they saying and what is their intent. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of false compliments are easy because they're always the tangible shit. Baby, oh, your booty's so fat, girl. Your booty's so fat. It's so round. You should say shit like, I like your booty. It's soft like your soul, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of crap, It's gotta be specific. When people compliment you and give you constructive criticism, it can't be vague, because a lot of these toxic parents and narcissistic people type of thing is that most of them like to say like, oh, like you pretty and wara, It's a lot of like physical things. Like I remember she said this one thing once. She was like, I see good things through you. What? Through you? You don't say I see good things through you. You say I see good things in you. Through you is a common phrase we use when reflecting to people who are fake. Saying through you means that you see me as some type of receptacle, like some mirror image, some extension of you. I'm not you. I'm a separate individual. Going back to the thing I was talking about, individuality. I'm not you. I'm me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is, don't fall for that friendship crap bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That friendship crap bullshit, that it goes back to the thing I was talking about, boundaries. A parent should be a parent. When your parent starts doing weird shit, starts touching you sexually and all that crap, starts making you become their brother, their lover, their father and shit, that is sign number one. You run away. You as a child, you're not meant to be a parent to your parent. You're not meant to be the man of the house. That is toxic, fucked up shit. You need to cultivate yourself as a fucking person. Discover who the fuck you are as a motherfucker, at the end of the motherfucking day. Not that bullshit where your parents become friendly. Because I'm gonna tell you the real thing. Become friends with your parents, right? You don't have to believe. Become friends with your parents. You're gonna realize why some of them remain single. You're gonna realize why some of them can't have congruent friends for more than 1 year, 2 years, why they constantly job hopping and shit like that, why these motherfuckers is fake and shit. You gonna realize that shit, because like you realize one thing, this person they're not reciprocal. You know what I'm saying? They don't give back. They don't know how to give back because emotionally they're still a child, and a child unfortunately has to be selfish because they need their needs satisfied until they become self-aware. But you've become an adult. You can't be a fucking child for the rest of your motherfucking life. Forever, bro. That's bullshit, motherfucker. That's bullshit. But also, another thing is, the last fact I feel is that they only care about image and the family legacy and things like that. They don't care about your ambitions, your drive. They constantly, you always hear it's like, oh, you've got to do this, you got to do this, we need you. Or no, you don't need me, you just want to control me. You want to control me through the family name and whatever. Things like that, where they want you to pass on a legacy even though it doesn't match with your values. We'll talk a lot. I feel like I have to create a video. I'll create a side video on like values and things like that. How to know when to cut relationships, when to mend them, if to mend them, how much you should invest and how little, and things like that. But mostly just a quick rundown. We talked about the 3 most important behaviors to look out for in a toxic relationship: controlling, domineering, and possessive behavior. We talked about how narcissistic people are like, they think highly of themselves, but the reality is this motherfucker isn't putting in the work. They're lazy and all that type of crap. They lack empathy, emotionally, they lack empathy. They emotionally devalue your emotions because they don't respect that type of thing. They exploit you, overbearing, controlling, no sense of boundaries. They're always on your nuts. They're always on your case, you know what I'm saying? They're envious of you. They're threatened by your independence. False compliments, the friendship crap, don't respect boundaries. They only care about the family image, looking good in front of other people. They don't care about your ambitions, your goals, and your values. And yeah, automatically stay tuned for more, because this is going to be a series where it's going to be the whole cycle, healing everything you need to know. So have a good day, spread peace and love, and if you suspect somebody's share this video. Automatically just share this video, you know what I'm saying? But have a good time, you know what I'm saying? Have a good time. Check you out.